if we haven't met before. And I work in the School of Mathematical Sciences at Nottingham. So I'm a very traditional applied mathematician. My work is basically using partial differential equations to model various things, fluid mechanics, anything you can model with partial differential equations, although I tend to specialise in free boundary problems in fluid mechanics. The way I became involved in this area was obviously through Dragos, who's in engineering. He and I think at the time Carol were involved in a big European project. Well, he was running a big European project on water-jet milling, and he realised that he needed a bit of mathematical support and that a mathematical model of the process was what was required. So he started working on that, and he and Carol realised that the sort of mathematical framework that we'd worked out for water-jet milling could also fit for ion beam and for laser ablation and possibly various other energy beam processes, and this was how this project was born. So what I'll go through in this talk, so I want to talk a bit about mathematical modelling. I mean, I know there's a lot of physicists and engineers in the room, and probably if you're a mathematician, you're probably a fairly traditional sort of well, you're from Russia, so you probably know lots of theorems and proofs. Right? Although maybe some of you know some more about mathematical modelling. But I just want to go through the traditional applied mathematician's way of looking at mathematical modelling and the modelling cycle. And I want to say why I don't think that's appropriate for the sort of processes that we're looking at in this project, and suggest a simplified approach that's more appropriate for the sort of engineering applications that we're interested in here. And I'll go through the details for water-jet milling, because of course that's where this started, and that's what I first started working on. So I'll show you some of the mathematics of that, and at the end I'll think about what the changes might be required for laser ablation and for ion beam. In the third section I'll show you 1D milling, which is a completely theoretical idea. There's no such thing as 1D milling in practice, but I think it might be a useful framework for testing out some of the more mathematical ideas that are knocking around in this project. And I'll also show you some stuff I've done on very simple 2D milling in the fourth section. So it's going to start off very sort of airy-fairy and philosophical, and then I will particularise it to water-jet, and then I'll get a little bit more abstract. But hopefully I won't take too long, because I've got to also give Didier's talk, which should be quite fun.